The next morning he woke up to realize he had overslept and missed his chance to train his purple demon eyes. However, he noticed that his cultivation speed had improved thanks to his extended meditation. Just then, Z approached him, bubbling with excitement about the energy on Sea God's Island and suggesting they ask the Grand Teacher for more time there. Wu Lin, on the other hand, disagreed, knowing that Shrek Academy had strict rules to follow. Instead, he decided to prioritize his growling stomach and focus on eating. As he sat at the dining table, Wu Lin's insatiable appetite caught the attention of the Grand Teacher, who eagerly anticipated witnessing his eating prowess. Wu Lin devoured 20 steamed buns, even though he found them less than appetizing at first. But then, something unexpected happened. He felt a surge of warmth that instantly satisfied his hunger. With a satisfied smile, he declared the buns to be excellent, leaving everyone else astonished. Despite the warnings about overeating, Wu Lin couldn't help but revel in the joy of those steamed buns, completely unaware of the intrigue his bloodline and extraordinary appetite had sparked in the Grand Teacher. Wu Lin felt a wave of contentment wash over him as he finished devouring the 16 buns, his spirit power humming pleasantly within him. The idea of these buns potentially helping him break his seals excited him, and he eagerly inquired if he could have them daily. To his surprise, his Grand Teacher and Shen Yi were taken aback by his request, while Wu Kong seemed disappointed. It was only then that Wu Lin realized his blunder. The buns were actually the teacher's monthly rations, meant to be consumed sparingly. Shen Yi explained that they were a special treat made from nutrient-rich deep-sea fish, reserved for the elders of the Sea God's Pavilion. Feeling sheepish, Wu Lin decided to leave the remaining buns for his Grand Teacher, but Shen Yi insisted that he take them as instructed. After breakfast, Wukong stayed behind in the wooden house as Shen Yi led the students off the island. The working students, unlike the regular ones, had to work harder and pay full tuition, a fact that Shen Yi made sure to emphasize. She explained the resources provided by Shrek Academy justified the high fees. Upon reaching the administration office, they were warned not to bring disgrace upon the working students, leaving Wu Lin puzzled. They were then given their uniforms and tasked with cleaning the Spirit Ice Plaza before nightfall. Shen Yi gathered them at the plaza and gave clear instructions to meticulously mop the floor, emphasizing that even a speck of dust left behind would lead to point deductions. Despite some initial grumbling, Shen Yi encouraged them to stay focused, assuring them that this task was relatively simple. Later, she led them to their dormitory, which was in a sorry state with only 2 metal bunk bed frames and layers of thick dust. Concerns about their living conditions started to surface, but Wu Lin remained optimistic, suggesting that they make the best out of the situation. They decided to begin by cleaning the room and using curtains to create separate spaces. As they prepared to fetch water for cleaning, they were taken aback to see others already doing the same. While fetching water, they unexpectedly ran into another student, student number 2, whom they immediately recognized from a previous trial. Wu Lin warmly greeted him, impressed by his incredible strength and powerful spirit essence, making him the most formidable 3-ring spirit master they had ever encountered. Despite being a working student, they couldn't help but be puzzled by his exceptional abilities, even mistaking him for an inner court student. In the midst of their confusion, Gu Yue had a brilliant idea to expedite the cleaning process using her elemental powers. Confident in her abilities, she unleashed her spirit rings and conjured a powerful whirlpool infused with wind and water elements, efficiently cleaning the entire plaza in no time. Wu Lin and Z were left in awe, realizing that Gu Yue could handle the task single-handedly, a feat that would have taken ordinary people at least 2 days to complete. With the plaza sparkling clean, they decided to spruce up their room while Gu Yue continued her cleaning duties. Wu Lin purchased some wood planks, and with Z's assistance, they skillfully crafted proper beds and divided the room with cloth, giving it a more organized and cozy feel. As their room started to take shape, they all sat down together and meditated, feeling the weight of the pressure that came with being students at Shrek Academy. The next morning, Wu Lin woke up with a renewed sense of excitement as they made their way to the dining hall. They were eager to indulge in the abundant and delicious food offered on their first day at the academy. Wu Lin suggested that Z treat them another day, appreciating the opportunity to savor the mouth-watering dishes. Wu Lin couldn't believe the luxury of the dining hall, surpassing even the one at East Sea Academy. The variety of dishes, ranging from noodles to sashimi, tantalized his taste buds. As a working student, he was granted a complimentary meal on the first day, and he was determined to take full advantage of it, already eyeing the portion for the next day. His excitement didn't go unnoticed by Paichin, a member of the discipline committee, who questioned why Wu Lin had piled up so much food. According to the academy's rules, food wastage bore a hefty penalty. Unfazed, Wu Lin reassured Paichin that he could finish it all, eliciting a doubtful response from the committee member. Taking a bold stance, Wu Lin proposed a wager. If he cleared his plates, Paichin would have to bring him another round. If not, he would accept any punishment Paichin deemed fit. With the challenge accepted, Wu Lin dove in, showcasing an impressive appetite and efficiency in devouring the nutritious spread. As he continued to polish off plate after plate, onlookers marveled at his eating prowess while the chef and patron grew increasingly amazed and worried. Wu Lin's revelation about being a working student shed light on his insatiable hunger, marking the end of his entitlement to complimentary meals after that day. Reflecting on the episode, Wu Lin realized that being a working student came with its own set of challenges and biases. Z asked why Wu Lin couldn't control his appetite even for a moment, but Wu Lin insisted that his hunger couldn't be satisfied by restraint alone. He reminded Z that he was supposed to treat him to dinner. Z wondered why he was still hungry, to which Wu Lin replied that by the time they reached their destination, everything would have been digested. Wu Lin could now feel the effects of consuming nutrient-rich food as his blood flowed with renewed vigor and his vitality surged through his veins. Z then announced that he would treat them all and suggested exploring the outer court, a magnificent city in itself. They stumbled upon a place that seemed to sell drinks, and Zhu's excitement grew as he craved ice cream. They decided to check it out. As they ventured further, they discovered a festival known as Shrek's Sea God's Fated Date Festival. If one was in the inner court and of a certain age, they could participate in this grand celebration. Upon entering the restaurant, Xiaoyan and Gu Yue were captivated by a dazzling display of fruit in a glass. Their attention, however, was quickly diverted by the presence of an arrogant young man who bellowed at a waitress demanding her phone number. Wu Lin couldn't help but wonder why this young man was causing such a scene and why someone like him would be found in Shrek Academy. His behavior was undeniably rude. On the other hand, Z found it rather entertaining. The waitress maintained her composure and politely explained that it was beyond her job description to fulfill his request. Enraged, the man insisted that she fetch the manager. With a calm nod, the waitress complied and left. Z watched her in awe, though he couldn't quite understand why he suddenly felt a sheen of sweat forming on his brow. Soon enough, the manager arrived to address the situation. The man wasted no time in demanding the waitress's contact information, but the manager, apologetically, explained that he couldn't disclose such private details to his staff. Realizing his efforts were in vain, the man furiously ordered the manager to fetch his superior. As the young master anxiously awaited a response from the boss, his heart overflowed with excitement. When his loyal bodyguard, Sanbo, returned with news of a successful negotiation, a triumphant smile spread across the young master's face. With the ownership of the drink shop now in his hands, he felt a surge of authority and dominance. Eager to assert his newfound status, the young master wasted no time in requesting the waitress's contact information. However, his audacity was met with unexpected resistance. Standing tall before him, the waitress made it clear that she would not lower down to his demands. Frustration and disbelief mingled within the young master as he watched her turn and walk away. Meanwhile, Wu Lin observed the unfolding scene with great interest, his eyes tracing the palpable tension in the air. Outside, a radiant golden aura enveloped the young master. With his 3 vibrant purple spirit rings and majestic white wings, he emitted an aura of strength and righteousness. On the other side, the waitress prepared herself for battle, unfurling her dark wings. Despite being outclassed in spirit rings, her resolve endured. As the clash between light and darkness erupted, Z could only watch in awe as the 2 adversaries faced each other. In the midst of the intense battle, a blinding light engulfed the scene, momentarily blurring Z's vision. When the light faded away, the waitress stood tall and unwavering, exuding a commanding presence. With a swift motion, she dispersed the dark mist that surrounded her, revealing her true strength. In a voice filled with authority, the holy angel declared the waitress's defeat, confident in his superiority. However, undeterred, the waitress stood her ground. As the tension between the young master and the waitress reached its boiling point, his frustration erupted into insults and relentless attacks. To his surprise, the waitress ceased her resistance, leaving him puzzled and the onlookers bewildered. Suddenly, a stronger force intervened, catching everyone off guard. The arrival of the enforcer brought a sense of order to the chaotic scene, his authoritative presence demanding attention. Yue Zhengyu from the Angel Clan wasted no time in addressing the situation at hand. With solemnity, Yue Zhengyu explained his duty to uphold the laws of Shrek City and his mission to apprehend fallen angels who had strayed from the righteous path. However, the waitress vehemently defended herself, presenting evidence of her innocence as a student of Shrek Academy. Upon verification of her identity as a working student, the enforcer swiftly dispelled any doubts about her allegiance. With a stern warning to the young master for his misguided actions, Yue Zhengyu ensured justice prevailed while maintaining the peace. Despite the resolution, the young master remained unconvinced, his suspicion lingering as the waitress departed with disdain. As the commotion settled, Wulin and his companions pondered the profound differences they had witnessed, realizing that Shrek Academy was a place of unique challenges and unexpected revelations. As the night enveloped Shrek Academy, Z couldn't shake the lingering questions in his mind. He pondered aloud to Wulin about the mysteries surrounding working students, noting the aura of secrecy that seemed to surround them. From the red-haired girl to the enigmatic student number 2, Z sensed a pattern that piqued his curiosity. Wulin, ever the pragmatic thinker, acknowledged Z's musings but stressed the importance of focusing on their immediate priorities. Despite their curiosity, they needed to acclimate to life at Shrek Academy and understand its customs before delving into such matters. As the night wore on, Shu, with her no-nonsense demeanor, reminded them of the early start they had the next day. She swiftly drew the curtains, signaling an end to their discussion and urging everyone to retire for the night. In the midst of the calm night, Wulin found himself deep in thought. The concepts of holy angels and fallen angels sparked his curiosity about the world of spirit masters. The next morning, after a satisfying breakfast, the 4 friends headed to the administration building to receive their daily tasks. By chance, they ran into student number 2, now known as Yuanen, who was also there for his assignments. The head teacher praised them for their previous efforts in cleaning the Spirit Ice Plaza and assigned them the same task for the day. However, Wulin, always ambitious, inquired about additional opportunities to earn contribution points. His request caught the head teacher off guard, as it was rare for working students to seek more tasks. Undeterred, Wulin chose a challenging job, the first-grade 1000 refinement task. The head teacher was impressed by Yuanen's efficiency and quickly assigned him another task. With a nod of acknowledgement, Yuanen silently left, leaving Wulin to contemplate his own choices. As Wulin embarked on his chosen task, the head teacher warned him about the risks involved and the monthly tuition fees required for working students. However, Wulin remained steadfast. Drawing upon the values instilled by the Tang sect, he acknowledged the qualities of self-reliance and hard work in earning contribution points. To him, these points were not just a means of survival, but a pathway to unlocking their full potential. Wulin welcomed the challenges of life at Shrek Academy with the knowledge that each obstacle would only make him stronger. As the Spirit Ice Plaza's opening ceremony began, Wulin and his companions were in awe of the vastness of Shrek Academy's outer courts. With 6 grades and around 600 students, each grade was filled with exceptional individuals who possessed impressive cultivation bases. The younger newcomers, including Wulin himself, couldn't help but be amazed by their surroundings, their youthful enthusiasm contrasting with the experienced maturity of the older students. Excitement filled the air, and a collective murmur spread through the crowd, indicating the arrival of esteemed figures. All eyes turned towards the sky as Teacher Wu and Teacher Shen made their grand entrance, causing the students to cheer with excitement. Wulin felt a sense of comfort, knowing that Teacher Wu would be one of their guides in this unfamiliar environment. Amidst the spectacle, Z's attention was caught by the concept of spatial flight. It soon became clear that only spirit masters with a minimum of 7 rings could achieve this incredible feat. To their astonishment, Elder Kai, the Silver Moon Du Luo, emerged as the head teacher of the outer courts, leaving Wulin and his comrades speechless. Elder Kai's presence at the academy was proof of the academy's reputation. As she spoke to the assembled students, the importance of the moment was palpable. With the start of a new school year, Shrek Academy opened its doors to a few talented individuals. Elder Kai's words caused Wulin and his friends to feel a sudden drive to excel. Elder Kai's voice reverberated through the courtyard, igniting the same feelings in all the other students present. The new students learned that Shrek Academy did not force its students to cultivate, nor were the classes mandatory. There was a minor exam each year, and a major one every 3 years. Failure in the minor exam twice meant expulsion, while failure in the major exam once also yielded the same result. A realization dawned on the students that time was limited, and the graduation requirements were strict. For those in the 6th grade, the pressure was especially high because they only had a few chances left to accomplish their goals before hitting the age limit of 35. Wulin was filled with determination, as Elder Kai's words echoed in his mind. He understood that success at Shrek Academy required not only hard work, but also strategic thinking. Elder Kai's stern gaze made the consequences of complacency clear, reminding him that he held his destiny in his hands. As the opening ceremony came to an end, Wulin's resolve only grew stronger. He was fueled by the desire to achieve greatness and reach the pinnacle of success. With unwavering resolve, he promised himself that he would persevere, one step at a time, until he stood at the top of the world. Wulin and Z eagerly awaited the chance to meet their teachers and begin their academic journey. Their excitement soared as Teacher Wu and Teacher Shen approached, ready to guide them toward greatness. However, their anticipation turned into trepidation when Elder Kai revealed that the esteemed teachers would be serving as her assistants. Elder Kai's decision to take charge of the new class caught Wu Lin and his friends off guard. The realization of her direct involvement in their education left them uneasy. As they were led to their classroom by teacher Shun Yi and teacher Wu Kong, Wu Lin couldn't shake the feeling that Elder Kai had been pulling the strings all along. Sitting in the front row, they couldn't ignore the calculated placement that made them uncomfortably close to the teachers. It served as a stark reminder of their vulnerable position and the potential repercussions of their past choices.